I apologise, everybody, for the minute of problems. I do apologise. I had no clue that happened for about a minute or so. I do apologise. No, I have no clue why that happened either. Yeah, we're going to get back on track now because I have zero clue why that's happened. Might have been a drop in my internet. Who knows? Once again, massive apologies for the mental stuff happening here tonight. But yeah, it's back and going again, and we're back to getting this working. I do apologise to everybody. I don't know what is happening. Not usually like this. My PC is very, very strange to have this all of a sudden. Supra's not pushing on his lap. Have we got an Alpine on a push lap? No. Do we have anybody actually out on a fast lap at the moment? No. Geekin's out on a lap. Strange. Strange nonetheless. Quite strange. But we go with it. Well. We continue our night. Who is... I'm trying to figure out, is there anybody on a lap right now? I think Geekin's going to be the closest one to setting a lap, so we'll watch Geekin. Currently P3, he needs exactly just over a tenth for him to go pole. He needs just over a tenth to go pole position at the moment, so he needs quite a big... He needs a big sort of fight, a big sort of comeback here. He does need to pick this up. It's going to be important, really, this qualifying. It's going to be incredibly important. Let's watch on board with Geekin as we run on a lap. Let's see how he's going to do. Into turn one he goes on the brakes. He's gone a little bit deep, a little bit of a look up there, not going to help him out. He might get some slipstream though because of some of the slow cars in front, but I don't think the Williams in front is really going to give him any, or very minimal down the straight. He's going to get very minimal amounts of slipstream. He's getting a bit. You got a bit from the XPG car, but not too much. But he's up by 87 thousandths. That will currently climb him up to second at least. He'll be on the front row for tonight as it stands. But he needs to hook up these final few parts of the track. Case and White and Not Zero still not out on track. They've both just come out now, so they're going to have to rush quite a bit to get to the flag. It takes about 1 minute 41 as we've seen at full pace. About 2 minutes going round slower. It's around 2 minutes to get round going a bit slower, so they might be in a bit of a rush with traffic. Geekin through the middle sector, quite strong. The Red Bull hooking it up, exactly what he needs to do. But remember, it's only going to be a lap time that they need, for now, because TTRE might improve. They might find more time. They might gain even more from this. So it's really up to them for the moment. Yeah, it's all going to be up to them. Coming round now into the bus stop chicane. Once again, through the right-left. Can Geekin hook the final part of the lap up? It looks very good. It is not fastest, but it is just the front row. P2 he goes. And that's enough for him for tonight. And I think he'll be pretty happy with that for now. I think somebody was on a lap. I think, was that a Red Bull? I have no clue who it was now who was on a lap. That's Sven going slowly. Is that an Alpine on a fast lap? I'm trying to figure out who's actually on a fast lap or not, because I don't know who's on a fast lap and who isn't. I think it's Pavanir, but he's invalidated, so Pavanir's done. Then we got an RB next. That's Ben Huskins, who's up by 800ths. That could pull him up into P5 ahead of his teammate Liam Doherty, who's on an outlap at the moment. So maybe a gain in position there. Coming round the middle sector through Pouon he goes. SET need a big night tonight. If they can try and get they need to try and get as many cars to out-qualify TTRE, keep their title hopes alive. If they can get those extra points, that's what they're really going to need. Neon's retired. He's had a crash out on track, but we've got to see as Ben Huskins goes round. These are the big drivers who are going to be doing big performance. We know Pavanier's already invalidated, so he's already done. Callum Turner didn't make it out. Unknown has also retired, so we've got quite a few drivers already retired or out. Ben Huskins into the final chicane. He's got to perfect this. Can he do it? Up to the line. Is Ben Huskins going to be able to cross the line with that? It is P4. It's the second row. It is going to be good enough for him, I think. Tagir has invalidated. We've got to look to Daniel then, who's also invalidated. Both VEL drivers already done for their session. Robbie's improving, but very slightly. It isn't going to be enough to gain in position based off of his middle sector. So Robbie looks like he's going to be staying in P15 for now. I think we've got Anton next, yes. He's now going to go P4 ahead of his teammate, just jumping his teammate at the line. Next to Statlov, up to the line. What can he do? He can't improve his position. We then look to Spinala King, who's gone P9. We've got a Williams. I think that was Sven there. And then we've got these two. Not Zeros goes fastest of all. 41-2. And it is Not Zeros on pole, but it's a 1-2 from TTRE. And that's exactly what they need going into the race and into the championship battle. I believe, if I'm correct, it's almost qualifying over. Liam Doherty still to cross the line. What can he do? He goes P3. So close to Kason White there. Incredibly close. Right on the edge. But that is the end of qualifying. We're going to see who has done what and how well has some teams come off and how badly have others. Once again, I do apologise for the problem midstream, but it should be fixed now. Not Zeros is on pole position, followed by his teammate Kason White. Liam Doherty in third, Geekin in fourth, Anton fifth, Ben Huskins sixth, Callum Turner in seventh, Super in eighth, Unknown in ninth, and Spinala King in 10th. Sven is 11th with Statlov in 12th, Pavanier 13th, Tagir in 14th, Robbie in 15th, Estenberg in 16th, Edward 17th, and Daniel in 18th, and finally Neon in 19th. That is the qualifying grid. That is the qualifying grid for tonight, which is quite good, which will be quite interesting to see. So we're going to be reading up in about a minute or so. So we're going to be waiting a little bit. We've got a little bit longer to wait. It is dry, as you can see. Strategy-wise, I think we're going to see a lot of maybe hard to medium, medium to hard. That's kind of just the strategy around this track. Somebody's readied up incredibly early. Oh my god. Why do people do this? But I guess we're going to get going a little bit earlier than expected. As we now start off, it is 1, 2, 3, 4... 5 red lights. And away we go here in Belgium for FRLT 4's round number 8 of Season 3. And there's already a car in the wall. And going down into Turn 1, Liam Doherty. He needed to take the lead. Has he done it? Has he done it right? Yes, he has. It is 3 wide. He's trying to let his teammate through. That is Geekin into the lead. They're still battling over P2. Up through the hill they go. It is Liam Doherty battling with ultimately the man of Not Zeros. But look at the flood of cars coming through. The man of Geekin now leads away down the Kemmel Straight. Who is going to come out on top here? Who is going to be number 1? Who are we going to see into the next chicane? They're still battling. SET versus TTRE are going rife. Look at this. Has Not Zeros had a moment? Yes, he has. He's down to third. He's dropped a place again. Now under attack further back as well is Kason White from Callum Turner. Yes, another Ferrari, but a different team coming through. Has he lost another place? No. Kason White holds on to 4th for now. Ben Huskins, though, is pushing, and he's up to 5th in this race, and that's another position gained. But the TTRE duo are on hard tyres, but they are getting swallowed up by the grid right now. This is a terrible start from TTRE. Exactly what they didn't need. I think they sort of expected it slightly, but they didn't expect to sort of go from a 1-2 to 3rd and 4th, and already about 2 seconds off the lead of the race in just one lap. I don't think that's sort of what they wanted. It's not what they needed, because now they're going to be dropping points to to SET in the championship. It's exactly the reverse of what they wanted or needed here tonight. As Anton goes a bit deep, and that drops him back. He's having a bit of a moment on, I think he's on the hard tyres there. But bringing up all of the data, yeah, he's on the hard tyres, but as you can see, a couple of medium runners, a couple of hard runners, a soft runner in there, Tagir. It's quite a bit of a mix at the moment, mostly medium runners though, but it's a decent mix. Good start though from Geekin up 3, Sven up 4 as well. But let's return our eyes to the lead of the race. He's gotten a 1.5 second lead now. It's all going to change. DRS is going to become important more than ever. Not zeros, is into the lead of the race. And that is a move that he needed to make now more than ever. And this is holding on title hopes. But the thing is, you've got to remember, for SET here, they're also holding on to title hopes. As long as they can win this race, their championship hopes are still there going into the final race. And, you know, it's not going to go away. And for TTRE, it's a horrible fact that they've lost the Constructors' Championship lead with just 2 races left. Even though, yes, they are just 4 points behind. Or 3 points. I think they're 3 or 4 points behind. You know, yes, they're incredibly close. But having a close battle like this as well is not helping them, where they're 2nd, 4th. They're 2nd, 4th, 9th. And 14th, you know, they've only got 3 drivers inside of the top 10, 2 inside of the top 5, while SET have 3 drivers inside of the top 5, and are pushing. Neon has had a crash out on the track. Somebody's had a crash quite far back. Pavanir is also having a rough race. VEL not getting away well, yeah, and that is Neon in the wall. Is that going to be a safety car? No, it's cleared already. But as you can see, Geekin pulling away, 2.3 seconds now off in the lead of the race. He's just pulling further and further away. He's setting amazing lap times at the moment. And this is exactly going the way he wanted. And this is exactly what SET needed to build the gap very early on, so that basically nobody could catch up. And I think Geekin has got massive amounts of straight line speed over Not Zeros, because he just seems to be losing out everywhere. And this could be a perfect moment for them. But look at Liam Doherty. He's again incredibly close. He's got the DRS. And I think this is just teamwork coming in. This is perfect teamwork as Liam Doherty makes his move. Look at Kason White. He's trying to hold on to P4 here. Can he hold on to it? No, he can't. He's going to drop down to 5th place now in this race. And that's another position lost. And he's under attack now from Callum Turner. Pavanir as well retiring. 1 XPG out. 1 VEL out as well. 2 drivers out already after just 3 laps. Not much luck for either team. But it is still points on the way, and it is still chances to come. But all SET drivers are inside of the top 10, by the way, while only 3 TTRE drivers are inside of the top 10. And so at the moment, it is points going to SET and a bigger Constructors' Championship lead going into the final race, where it will all matter. TTRE trying to claim that trophy, SET as well. Or at least 3 teams will come away with a trophy. XPG are sort of almost confirmed to at least walk away with 3rd in the Constructors. They're basically confirmed to walk away with 3rd in the Constructors, while the battle for 1st and 2nd is still on. Geekin, though, his lead reducing slightly. He's down to about 2.1 seconds. It isn't there. It's going back up a bit, but he does seem to be losing bits of time. But Estember now making his way through the order up to 7th place already. He's making his way very nicely through the order, I must say. And this is a strong attack coming from Estember and a strong drive through the grid from 18th, by the way. 17th up to 7th already. He's on an absolute drive of the season so far. He's pushing his way through, and he's making it work. Anton as well, pushing his way through. I think slightly off track as well, but on those hard tyres, he's made it up to 8th, and that's another 2 points walking SET's way while he's trying to chase down Estenberg for 7th. But the thing is, Estenberg has just dropped outside of a second there for just a moment. But it is all still going on, and it is still a long way to go in tonight's race. I think everybody knows that sort of AB and Estenberg, by the way, up to 6th, ahead of Cason White. Cason White giving a place to his teammate, but that's lost him time as well. So Cason White already sacrificing his race for his teammates. Another moment there to watch. Not Zeros, though. He's not catching up on the lead of the race, but TTRE have used the big guns. They've used Estenberg, one of the drivers who's been strongest for them. He won in Tier 1 last season, by the way, by a staggering, I think, 18 seconds. He won in Hungary in Tier 1 in Season 2. It's his only win to date. He's looking to get another one. He also got a podium in the next race in Silverstone. So he has 2 podiums already. He's looking for more in 4s. He wants to get that win in 4s. He's pushing hard, and he's currently got the fastest lap of the race as well. Liam Doherty just got a 3-second time penalty, which is at least going to drop him down to about 8th or 9th, possibly even 10th by the end of the race. So it's not looking all too good for himself. Spinala King kind of out of this race at the moment for TTRE, very much out of sync with his teammates. Cason White really battling to try and stay 7th, as his teammate Estenberg now is up to 5th in this race. But the gap is also reducing in the lead, down to about 1.6 seconds, lost about 4/10, about half a second, sorry, in the last lap. So Geekin is starting to lose time on Not Zeros because, of course, he's on the mediums, and Not Zeros is on those hard tyres. So it is all coming down to this, I must say. But heading round, let's see what Not Zeros can do. It's a whole Constructors' Championship fight going on. Anton gets a 3-second time penalty, so penalties are starting to just go a bit too high for SET. It's going to cost them later on tonight. At the moment, Anton is going to finish 10th in this race, so he's down to 10th already, and that's a lot of points lost. That's another 3 points lost for SEC, so all that ground gained is all going to be lost again. So he could finish 9th and 10th very much by the end of tonight. As you can see, Geekin make his way round. He's got a lot of speed, and he is keeping up with Not Zeros. He's kept up for quite a while. On to lap 6 now. Onto a very nice lap 6. Still another 16 laps of this race to go. So still a very long way to go. But I must say, he's putting in a pretty decent job for the moment. I think this is where we're going to see maybe a move over second place, because Liam Doherty has gotten rather close to the Aston Martin. So is Ben Huskins. He's going to try and send it. Ben Huskins trying to make that move for 3rd place. He really wants to push and make this man struggle. He really wants to give TTRE a tough time, and he's doing that. He is slowing down. Cason White's had a spin, by the way. Cason White dropping down the order. This is just all hell. It's all going wrong for TTRE. Oh, the first mistake of tonight coming from TTRE. And that's down to 16th. And I'm pretty sure that's out of the race for Cason White. And that is all of his points chances gone. It is a virtual safety car. And disqualified from the session, Cason White is. And it is a disappointing end for TTRE's driver and manager. It's a disappointing night for himself as he's out of the race. Now, TTRE, a driver down, 1 in 10th. 1 in 10th, the other 2 in 3rd and 5th, but at the moment going to lose out ultimately to Geekin. It's only a virtual safety car. Geekin's staying out. He doesn't feel like he wants to go he wants to go a bit longer. You can see Liam Doherty and Ben Huskins coming in. They feel like it's time. They want to try and get the undercut. And the safety car, and the virtual safety car is now in, and it is time to get going, racing again. But it's actually been an incredible restart from Geekin, because he's pulled off now about 3 seconds off in the lead. Exactly what he needed. And that's a perfect restart from himself. And that's given him a decent lead. While we can still see Callum Turner is just holding on. He's just about holding on to the DRS here of the two in front of him. He's been very much the dark horse here tonight. He's going to try and make a move on not zeros. Unable to just yet. But that is getting closer and closer for XPG. Their chances getting a bit better moment by moment. But we'll have to see as the race does go on. As Liam Doherty and Ben Huskins are both 13th and 14th now at the back of the grid. But you could just see it's a rather nice race it's turning out to be for Geekin, who's currently finding himself about 2.6 seconds in the lead, now coming down a bit as he's made a mistake through Poo-on, obviously. But he's found himself over 2 seconds in the lead of this race. He's led every lap now, from lap 1 to what's looking like going to be the lead at the end of lap 7 as well. Going on to the 8th lap, he's going to be leading this race even longer. It's going to be interesting to see when the TTRE duo are going to come in, because they're both on hard tyres. Geekin's, of course, going to be on a separate strategy. He's going to be going to the hard tyres instead for his second stint. Depends how long he can go on these tyres. But he is going for another lap. He is going to lead onto lap number 8. He is going for it. He is trying to hold on to this lead for as long as he can. And I've got to give it to him. He's doing it quite well on worn mediums. Going sort of, through 7 laps of leading this race, and pretty well, a pretty dominant lead while doing that as well. Is just helping himself out. He's just finding himself just pulling off into the lead a bit down the straights. He's not even having to really battle over anything, because he's just sitting here. He doesn't need to really do much. He just needs to keep his form and keep his pace, as now Not Zeros brings it down to about 2 seconds, so the gap reducing slightly because of DRS. But again, Geekid's just, even though he's on worn mediums, he's still doing incredibly well. While we see these two further back. Oh, and it's a mistake from Estenberg. He's in the wall. Estenberg in the wall. He's got damage. A massive mistake from Estenberg. TTRE falling apart when they are needed most. And that's not just a small mistake. That is probably a race-winning mistake. And that is a race-winning costing mistake here tonight. And that is something that really is going to cost them throughout tonight and possibly cost TTRE the championship, because now Supra and Anton have caught up again and he's miles off the lead. He's over 5 seconds behind the race leader now. His chances have pretty much disappeared in this race. And now you see Callum Turner heads into the pits. But still, we could see this sort of... I think there's a bit of surprise for Estenberg here, and a mistake made from a guy who has literally fought his way through the field with almost just ease. Through and through. That could just be a problem for him. That's, I think, very much going to be a problem as tonight leads on. I think we're going to be seeing him struggling quite a bit to sort of pull through and do exactly what's needed. Heading through, Estenberg now about 5 seconds off for the lead. But still, his race not proving to be anything special. Really hurting him. He had a great drive through the order, but since then it's just kind of fallen apart a bit. But Geekin, by the way, has now been completely caught up by Not Zeros. Not Zeros almost within a second now of the race leader. It's completely changed within 2 laps. About 2.5 seconds now. It's down to a second. But we could just see Geekin seems to have immaculate straight line speed. Even though Not Zero's is now going a bit quicker. You can see he's closing up massively. We might be seeing Geekin come in this lap, feeling like his tyres maybe are done. He is going to come in this lap. He feels like he's done on his tyres. He wants to head in. But of course, that very nice 5 seconds he's gained over Estember gives him a 5-second lead into the pits. And on the pit stop, it is to the hard tyres. And it's a virtual safety car. It's a virtual safety car, which is ultimately saving Geekin huge amounts of time here. It will also save Edward time. It's going to save pretty much everybody time. And out of the pits comes Geekin. How's he going to do? He's going to come out miles ahead of his teammate, Ben Huskins. He's all the way down the road. But this has perfectly helped Geekin. He's going to be a lot closer to the race leader, to TTRE. And so when they stop, they will come quite far out behind with not long left in this race. So we could say the medium tyres go about 7 to 9 laps in this race. Say they could go about 7 to 9 laps. So TTRE have got to go a lot longer. At the moment, Not Zero's is just slowly cruising around the track. And racing again, slowed down quite majorly as the drivers wait to get around the track. But the nice thing here is that they're able to save some ERS, they're able to go a bit slower. But of course, it means the race is going to take them longer. And it's going to take them a longer in time to get round. They're going to be waiting a lot longer to get round in the end. Virtual safety car continues. Robbie now retires. Virtual safety car still going on. And now we are going. It is go, go, go. But look at how far back Geekin is. He's only about 2-3 corners behind. So he's actually pulled off a huge amount of time here. And this could absolutely work in his favour now that he's just pulled all of this time in. And the thing is, for Estember, the worst part is he hasn't pulled away from the two behind him of Supra and Anton. They've still held on to him. And so, with his damage, he might be finding himself stuck maybe in a bit of a conundrum that he's just dragging along his opponents, and especially Anton for SET. He's dragging along Anton in the Red Bull when he really doesn't want to. But VEL's day, both halves out now, and more disappointment for VEL. Yeah, you can see a bit of movement from SET. Liam Doherty and, of course, Ben Huskins both swapping places. They're not able to keep up with their teammate, Geekin, but they're still on for points, at least. But for Geekin here, this is a race-winning opportunity. He needs to get the pace now, use his tyres how he can, make sure he saves a bit for the end. But he's almost already caught up to Spinala King already. So he's already pretty much caught up to about 5th place. And he just has to catch a few seconds. He needs to catch about 4 seconds to catch up to his teammate Anton, Supra, and Estember. He needs to just go a bit quicker, gain that time that he needs, and see how that goes. And they're actually battling in front, by the way. A bit of a battle going on over 5th place. Not sure why they're battling. They're just allowing Geekin to catch up more. Geekin's now all the way on the back of these two. And that's just going to be another pretty much easy 2 positions gained for Geekin. As you can now see Estember in the distance. So it's all kind of coming together slightly for Geekin to win the race. Geekin now going to ride on board with the Red Bull. Heading down the straight, now up through Radion, El Rouge and Radion, up towards the straight. Who's going to make the move? It's 3 wide, 2 wide now, and into the next corner. Who's got the corner? It is going to be Geekin, and he's up 2 places now here on lap 12, and that is the 2 places he needed. And the 2 places I don't think Estember really wanted, because now Geekin can catch even quicker, and he's going to be all over the back of them very shortly. You could already see down about half a second within a few corners. Geekin's pushing. He wants to take this win. He wants to get this win. He wants to catch up and have a fight. At the moment, I'd say he sits about 9 seconds away from the race leader. By my account, he sits about 9 seconds away from the race leader. So he would take the lead by about 7 or 8 seconds. He would take the lead by about 6 or 7 seconds, by the way, at the moment. So he would have a massive lead going into the final stint, which could actually be all he needs, as the most you can really gain in a single lap around this track seems to be about 5 tenths to about 7 tenths. When you're sort of even drives on harder tyres. I think we got all 3 into the pits in front of him, by the way. Estember also going to the pits. You can see Estember's just there. Look at how far Geekin's going to pull off into second place. He's going to be all the way round. Geekin's no longer in the fight for second place. Now means this lot can sort what they need to do. I don't think the hard tyres have worked. You can see Spinala and Unknown yet to stop, same as Not Zero. There's only 3 drivers left. Would I say this strategy has worked? I wouldn't say so, because look at how far back Estember now is from Geekin in second. It's about a 10-second gap now, by the way, between first and second, but we're going to just look at how much it's going to start to come down. You can see Not Zero is pushing on this lap. He's probably going to try and go in this lap. But it won't really matter what he does, because he's quite a bit slower. He hasn't got the pace advantage. And this is the worst part about being a race leader on really worn hard tyres, is that he's gone quite long, and he is just losing half a second in a few corners. You know, we are literally seeing the time just evaporate. You know, it's just completely disappearing every single corner. Look at that, down another 3 tenths. When it gets to this point, and you know you have to come in, you know you can't stay out much longer, there's not much point, because it's down. He's lost about 1.5 seconds now, this lap alone. At this point, you're really just losing more than you're gaining. As you can see, Not Zero, he's staying out even longer. I'm not sure what this strategy is. I get that he's trying to get have better medium tyres by the end of the race, but he's losing heaps of time for the moment. Spinala King now goes in. It's just the fact that he's losing not even just bits of time. He's losing heaps of time. 1.5 seconds in the last lap. It's now below 9 seconds. When it gets to this point, you need to start to think you're dropping miles behind. I mean, Estember only comes around turn 1 when already Geekin's through El Rouge and Radion. So they're very, very far apart. Coming down, though, still about 9 seconds, so Not Zero's pushing. He could be coming in again. I know I could be saying it again, but the gap is sort of stagnating a little bit more. I think we're seeing a bit more of a push from Not Zero's, but still, it's in this middle sector that he loses just a heap of time, I think. He's losing heaps of time in this middle sector. Back down to about 8.8 now, to a new lowest. This race is just not working for TTRE in any sort of way. The luck they've had, one driver outside of the top 10, most likely to stay outside of the top 10 as well. Or he might catch up and finish maybe at best 10th or maybe 9th. But nothing special. But again, the time's just getting knocked out from Zeros. Is he going to come in now? Are we going to be waiting? Estember with a 3-second time penalty, not going to help himself here tonight. Pretty much rules himself out of a top 5 moment. Somebody's gone off. And you can see Not Zeros is in the pits, but it's Callum Turner who's in the wall for XPG. And I think he's done. I think he might be done. And that is disappointment for XPG. That is, that's, I think, a huge amount of disappointment. He's running up in a really good position as well. Where is Geekin by the time Not Zeros comes out? This is my question. Where does he come out? He's going to be behind another 2 SCT drivers, by the way. He's quite far behind them as well. He's decently far behind them. He's, as you can see, over 2 seconds behind. He's miles away. He's over 8 seconds behind the race leader, possibly even 9. This was a bad strategy call, I think, from TTRE. I don't think this was a good strategy call from TTRE. Because he might be chasing at speed, these guys, but Ben Huskins and Liam Doherty are not going to let any TTRE drivers through with ease. And it's going to be a fight. Thing is, the laps are going by as well quite quickly. You know, lap 15 of 22. Laps are coming down. We're soon going to be going down to the final 6-7 laps of this race. You know, we're on, I think, 7 laps left of this race. You know, we've got quite a while to go. But let's see what Not Zeros can do. Can he close up? He's closing up quite a bit, but I don't think, like I said, either of these SCT drivers will be too happy to let him by at any time. It's now Not Zeros goes round. Huge sector times, absolutely massive amounts of time being found by Not Zeros. He's doing exactly what he needs. This is exactly the lap times he was needing. He needs to continue this, but he's still got 3 cars in front of him, 1 6 seconds off in the lead. These two are both sitting here knowing that they can just slow down everyone else purely because they can. You can see Not Zero is now within a second of Ben Huskins, but I don't think we're going to see Not Zeros get past Ben Huskins this lap, I don't believe. He's using all of his ERS early on, but that might not be the smartest decision because, as you could see, Huskins is staying close. He's staying incredibly close, and still the battle's going to happen, but he's using his ERS now. Has Not Zeros gotten them both? He's gotten them both! That's exactly the move he needed to make, and that is TTRE back into the spotlight and back into the chance of taking a race win tonight. It's back in the battle once again, and this is exactly what Not Zero's needed on lap number 16. And that's exactly what he's done. But now he has to close a 6-second gap to the race leader in just 6 laps. He's got to gain a second a lap, and that might be a little bit more difficult than we believe. Gap coming down. Not coming down a huge amount so far, so it's not exactly what he needed. He's gained about, by my count, he's gained about 6-7 tenths this lap. A bit below what he needs. He needs to be gaining a bit more than that. It's still 5.3. It's not below the 5 second. He's just set the fastest lap of the race. It's still not close enough, sadly, for Not Zeros. It's not close enough for the moment. It's far, far, far away from what he needs. Still 5.2. He needs to be getting that below 5 seconds by the end of Sector 1. He's trying to do that. He's just about done it. It's still not enough. He needs to get this now below 4 seconds, by the way. He needs to keep getting this down. He needs to get it down by over a second a lap. But Geekin's pace out front. He has got a penalty as well. Oh, I didn't see that. Geekin has a penalty. He has a 3-second time penalty, so for Not Zeros, this is almost a win in the bag. But SCT will still come out with more points at the end of the day, because TTRE might come away with 20 points for one single driver, fastest lap and pole point, of course, and 18 points for the win. They might come away with 20 points for one driver, but they're only going to come away with 10 for the other driver, making it 30, and 2 for their other one. Or maybe 8, sorry, at least 3, so making it 33 points in total. But SCT will currently walk away with second. They're currently going to walk away with second place. Oh, and there's a yellow flag. That's Sven who's round. He's had a bit of a moment. He's got him going again. But they're going to come up with 15 points, then 13, so already up to 28 points. And then if currently Liam Doherty can finish in front, if Liam Doherty finishes in front of Estenberg, that's going to be another 11 points. And that's going to keep SET in the Constructors' Championship lead just for now. And with Anton as well on top of it, I think we might just be seeing a continued lead from SET going into the final race of the season, where TCRE will have to bring everything they've got. But Ben Huskins now down to 6th, but he's still in the net P3 position for the moment. He's still in net P3. But this race is starting to come down to the last couple of laps. You can see everybody on the medium tyres now rushing their way through, finding it a little bit easier to come through, but you can still see Liam Doherty's going to give Estenberg a fight. I don't think any of these drivers are just letting them by. I think that would be a quite sore sort of comment to make towards a driver, that they're just letting them by. I think it's just the tyre advantage. Ben Huskins seems to be really struggling now on his hard tyres to get round. You see Liam Doherty is just trying to slow them down, I think. He is really, trying to just slow them down a bit. Stop their progress through the field. Stop Estenberg from being able to get past going into these final few laps. Hold on a bit longer. But here comes Estenberg. He's trying to make an early move. But he's going to actually have an ABE on the inside of him. 3 wide into the bus stop chicane. It's almost going to go. Estenberg tries. It's not going to work. And he's going to have to stick behind for a little bit longer in this race, as he does go ghosted for a second there. But he's going to have to stick behind in 4th for a little bit longer. But Liam Doherty's doing absolutely, I would say, a great job at the moment for holding on to this 3rd place and slowing down Estenberg for any sort of 2nd or 3rd place contention, or especially 3rd place contention here. He's really slowing him down. He's using his ERS well. He's not letting him through with ease. But still, Supra's still sitting there with a chance to easily make some moves and still to challenge. But there goes Liam Doherty down to 5th now. So Ben Huskins will still finish 3rd. But maybe the championship might just be slipping away from SET now. But Geekin, the gap now below 3 seconds, almost at about 2 seconds. We know Zeros wants to try and get the race lead, so he can at least cross the line in first. That's always the best feeling. But he might not be able to with the laps starting to come down and the mediums. And the mediums starting to wear off a bit. I can sort of see the mediums are not as fast as they were, because the hard tyres, even the worn old hard tyres, are just about keeping up with 4th and 3rd for the moment. But I think it's mostly coming from the straights. SET seem to have some amazing straight line speed here tonight. See Liam Doherty struggling a bit to keep up. But you can see the minute they stop using overtake, Liam Doherty seems to have a little bit more speed. And that seems to be from both SET drivers for now. Anton has also caught up to Ben Huskins, by the way. So the race may be going SET's way. Because even if it was to finish how it is, Liam Doherty would finish with 10 points. Then it would be 7, so 17. Then it would be 5, so 23. And then at least 15 points. So still 38 points, a 5-point lead. In the constructors, possibly a little bit less. Who knows? Some gaining or equaling out in the championship could go into the final race. But we'll have to see as the race goes on, because I don't think Supra is giving up this position. He's still fighting, remember, over this 3rd place. So AB still in contention. The moment they'll overtake VEL for 4th in the constructors once again. A change going into the final race. AB don't want to finish last. They want to try and hold on to it. But those medium tyres not holding on as well as they were. But it is all, I think, really down between Estenberg and Supra now for who's going to take this 3rd place. Could we have 3 different constructors on the podium in Belgium? We might have in any moment. And I must say, this race has been pretty interesting to see. Very interesting to see, I must say. And looking at Estenberg, he looks ready to fight. But the laps are starting to come down. We're going to be coming down to the penultimate lap in the next minute or so. AB Edward gets a penalty, it won't matter because he's so far in the lead for P10. Tagir too far behind. But now we've got to. I actually want to look to the front too, because now we are going on to the penultimate lap, lap 21 of 22. Geekin versus Not Zeros, SCT or T versus TTRE. Very much how this entire season has been from start to finish so far. From round 1 to round number 8, it has been entirely SCT versus TTRE, and TTRE and Not Zeros retakes the lead here in Belgium. It's taken them so long to retake the lead of the race. It's taken them about, I believe, about 8 laps to receive the lead once again. But they've just about done it. Geekin's still in second though. And TTRE still not walking away with more points at the end of the day, because Ben Huskins is just about holding on. And him just about holding on is going to finish third. And he's still going to claim a huge amount of points at the end of the day, because SCT will outscore TTRE once again this season. 2 races now in a row, back-to-back races, TTRE outscored for the first time, I believe, this season. Back in Bahrain in round number 7 where they outscored. So again, getting outscored. Ben Huskins, though, he's sitting about 2 seconds behind now. He needs to do a good final lap here. He needs to close up. Liam Doherty's got to do a little bit of teamwork here, maybe, to close up. Because at the moment, the battle is still on. But will Supra... The big question is whether Supra will finish P4 or P3. Whether he'll get ahead of Estenberg. Because if Ben Huskins can keep within a decent distance, he might just be able to hold on to P3. And he might just be able to reel home a win. Well, not a win, but at least P3, but a win for him. And a massive W in the bag for SCT on the way, if Supra can gain another place over Estenberg. But onto the final lap we go. You can see there's no battle for the lead, but there is a battle over third here. And heading down the Kemmel Straight we go for the final time. Supra pulls out to the right, heading down the Kemmel Straight. Supra takes P3 for ABE. ABE on the hunt for a podium here tonight. It looks like Ben Huskins might just be out of a potential chance for a podium, but he will still gain some places, but we'll have to see where he'll gain up to. Because at the moment, it looks like he might only gain up to 5th. So it might have fallen away slightly, but still, super pushing. And this is, at the moment, I believe, going to be a podium for ABE. And points lost for TTRE. I believe it is going to be 2 points lost for TTRE here. And it's not the 2 points they needed to lose. Into the last couple of corners. Still, there's a battle. Bit wiggly on the rear from Supra. We'll have to see as we go round what's going to happen. Who's going to go where? But we've got to take our eyes to the lead. It is TTRE and Not Zeros who return to the top of the table, as Not Zeros wins in Belgium FRLT 4's round number 8. But the battle over third is still going on side by side. Who's going to get it? Supra battling up to the line. Supra gets it. Supra gets that P3, and that podium is all to AB. 3 different constructors on the podium here tonight. As you can see, double points for AB in the end. They didn't just get 13 points, they got an extra one from AB Edward, who finished 10th. He did well enough to get that 14th point for AB tonight and overtake VEL in the Constructors' Championship just before the final race of the season. XPG, though, not as lucky. Only P12 and double DNF. I think maybe even I think that's pretty much it, if I'm correct. 14th as well. I think 14th as well. So pretty much no points for XPG. So they've lost quite a bit. But that is pretty much the race over. That is the day done. And it's TTRE who once again come out on top. I think it's for the 5th time this season. Sorry, 6th possibly. Could be the 6th or 7th time this season they've come out on top. But it is dominant nonetheless. So yeah, there we go. That is the end of the race. That is that. End of the race. So, here is the grid order of the race. From pole to victory, maximum points scored. From not zero, he takes all 20 points for TTRE here tonight. Geekin is in second, followed by Super in third. Essenberg with an amazing climb through the order for fourth. Ben Huskins in fifth. Liam Doherty in sixth. Anton in 7th, Benala King in 8th, Unknown in 9th, and Edward in 10th. The rest are Tagir, Callum Turner, Statlev, and Daniel, Hilda Tyrant, Sven, Robbie, Pavanir, Neon, and Kason White. All retiring here tonight. Ultimately, that is it for tonight. I must say, it's been a very interesting night. It's been an incredible night to see. The battle for the constructors still going on until the last race of the season. Still, we got this battle still going on. We'll have to see, of course, with stewards and everything, but we'll have to see. But yeah, so that is that. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Please think about subscribing and leaving a like. Also, make sure to click on that notification bell to know about all the content we do here at FRLT, from, of course, these streams in Tier 1 and 4s to videos and shorts. Also, make sure to go check us out on Twitter. That is down below. Also, big thanks to our affiliates, SRC. You might have not seen their usual advertisement, their usual trailer that we usually run. We've had a couple of problems with it lately, but we will be fixing them as soon as possible. So you'll be seeing it hopefully next week, hopefully on Wednesday. But I hope you guys have an absolutely amazing week. I'll see you very soon. Bye.